do? I don't trust you. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So glad that you're here with me. I am going to be talking to you today with a little one in the background who is so glad that you're here to join me today. If this is your first time, my name is Brooke and I am a homeschool mom of 3 boys who are 8, 6, and 4. We are homeschooling this year. Well, you're going to be 6.
Yeah.
We're homeschooling this year for 3rd grade, 1st grade, and preschool. And one of the questions I get all the time is what my daily homeschool routine or schedule looks like. So that's what today's episode or today's video is going to be about. If you are somebody who is looking for homeschool content or Christian living, Christian motherhood, Christian faith type of content, that is what you'll find here on my channels. Every Monday I post some type of podcast episode that will help you in your walk with God as a woman of faith. And every Thursday I will post some sort of homeschool content to help you if you are a homeschool mom. So I hope that you will hit the like button, the subscribe button, be a part of my channel, be a part of this journey with me. I'm so grateful that you're here and so excited to dive into today's episode. So today we're going to be talking about my daily routine, like I said. Now, a lot of people have this, this idea that when you homeschool, it's going to take up your whole day, your whole life is going to be just teaching your kids and you don't get to do anything else. And I'm here to tell you that that is a misconception. Yes, it does take time, it does take effort, it does take consistency and determination and planning, but it does not take up your whole life. You actually get to live more life as a homeschool mom, in my opinion, because I have been a mom who had my oldest son go to kindergarten, and I felt more busy in that season than I actually do now. So anyways, we don't follow a schedule, like an hour by hour schedule. I have ideas of times that I want to have certain things done by, but the flexibility of homeschool is one of the things that we enjoy the most. And so I'm not somebody who is like, it's X time, we have to do this because that's what the schedule says we have to do. I am a planner. As you know, I wrote a planner if you followed me for any amount of time. I like to plan out my life, plan out the things that I'm doing each day, each week, each month. But when it comes to the day-to-day stuff, I would consider myself more of a flow person than an actual schedule person. So I have a daily flow that I follow, or a routine with goals of the times that I would like to be doing those things by, but not anything set in stone. So my daily routine, usually for myself personally, I'll just take you through the whole day. I wake up about 5 a.m. with my husband. We both have our quiet time. Certain days of the week we'll work out together about 6 a.m., but most days of the week, because I'm a seminary student right now, I'm actually working on homework. So 5 to 6 is my quiet time, prayer time, reading time. 6 to 7 is homework time, and about 7 o'clock is when my boys start to wake up, and so that's when I switch over to mom mode, and we typically will go outside for my workout. They'll come outside, they'll play a little bit. Some days they're not feeling the outside, or maybe the weather's bad, so they'll get to sit in here, kind of just wake themselves up, watch an episode of TV if they're on a good week. If their technology's been taken away, then they don't get TV. Or they'll get to go play in their rooms, but it's just kind of some chill time for them to kind of wake up, because I don't like to wake up and go right into learning or right into chores or right into any of that. So I don't make my kids do that. So we call our 7 a.m. time like our PE. So they could play, they could exercise outside, that kind of thing. 7:30ish, 7:45, I'm usually finishing my workout, and that's when we'll all come together, we'll have breakfast, and we'll get started on our morning chores. Our morning chores are different each day. We have Sundays is when we clean the whole downstairs of the house and kind of get it ready for the week. So dust, mop, all that, vacuum downstairs. Mondays are a day that I work at our church, so I don't have a whole ton of time on Monday mornings, which is what you'll see next week in my first day of homeschool video that I recorded. It was kind of a hot mess, but we did as much of the flow as we could, so you'll get some real life stuff in that video. So make sure you get ready to watch that video next Thursday. But typically our morning chores are Mondays, I vacuum the stairs and I fold a load of laundry. Tuesdays, I clean the bedrooms. We dust and vacuum the bedrooms, fold a load of laundry. Wednesdays, we do the bathrooms. We fold a load of laundry. Thursdays are kind of a flex day. So if we have like walls that need to get scrubbed, or there's areas outside that we need to work on, or just, random stuff that needs to get organized or picked up, that's kind of what we do on Thursdays. also with a load of laundry because laundry consumes every day. We do a load of day. And then on Fridays, that's typically not a cleaning day for us. We kind of take that day off, take care of the dogs, maybe if they need to get bathed. But typically on Fridays, we're doing what we call family fun day. So we don't really have a cleaning schedule. So we do our chore of the day. We do our exercise, come in, we eat, we do our chore of the day, we get ready for the day. And usually that takes us to about 10 a.m. And 10 a.m. is my like hard time that I would like to start school by. Like I said earlier, it's not a time where I'm like, we have to start, it's 10 o'clock right now. If it's like 10:05, 10:15, like we're pushing it, I would like to start by 10, but 10 is the goal. Sometimes it's earlier, sometimes it's a little bit later. We're not super legal about that, but 10 a.m. is our start time. So around 10 a.m., because it's been about 2 hours since their breakfast, we start with a snack. When you are homeschooling your kids, the biggest thing that you could do to keep them quiet while you're trying to do any type of reading, because we do our Bible study stuff first, is give them a snack. So we will go through the Pledge of Allegiance, the calendar, our words of affirmation that we have through like scripture reading cards, our memory verses. We'll pray over our day, and then as I start our Bible study and our devotions, that's when I give them a snack. So they get to sit and listen. They've been interactive for the first 15 minutes of all of those other things. Now they get their snack. Now they can sit down and pay attention to the Bible lesson, hopefully. Once our Bible lesson is over, we go straight into history. We usually try to do this on the couch, Bible and history and science, just because it's a little more cozy. These are our family units, so it's the things that we're doing together. So we'll sit down on the couch, do all of that. We go through our history reading for the day. We go through our science reading for the day, and I keep all the worksheets and I bring those over to the desk for them to complete later. But at that stage, around, starting at 10, we're just going through our morning basket and our family units, the reading portions of it all, and kind of just getting, some time together to talk and read and laugh and play, and we're enjoying just, learning together. And then once we have our family units done, I pass out worksheets, whether, with history and science, we have different ages for that. So my preschooler is going to have a coloring sheet. My first grader is going to have some copy work to do, or maybe some light writing as we get further into the year. And then my oldest is going to have kind of sentences or paragraphs to write, and he's going to have to reiterate what it was that we learned. And so we kind of gauge that based on what age group that they're in, but those are our family units, so I gauge their worksheets based on their age. Sit down, they start working on those while I kind of get everything else ready to start the lesson. So I start pulling out their lessons for the day. I have their lessons for the week that I've pulled out, but their lessons for the day I pull out at this time. So I don't have it like ready the night before and then it's already out on the thing. Some people do that. I just typically don't. But I pull it out while they're doing kind of their history and science stuff, the stuff that we've already talked about. We get through all of those, and then I work with my oldest, my middle son. We work on his language arts. So as a homeschool mom of multiple kids in multiple grades, we have different lessons that need to be taught for language arts and math for each of them. And so I will send my oldest over with my youngest. They'll work on flashcards together. So he knows his ABCs, he knows how to count, he knows his colors, he knows his shapes. So does my middle one. But so he'll start working on those with my youngest. So he's kind of getting to teach him. It's teaching him independence. It's teaching him to be excited to, work with his younger brother about things. It gives them some quality time. And then it allows me to focus with my middle one, my first grader, on his language arts and math, so I can get him going. So I will start with his language arts. We go through all of his reading because that's the subject that he likes the least. So we try to start with their least favorite first so we can get it over with, and then they can do the fun stuff after. So we start with language arts. We go through his whole lesson while my oldest and my youngest are doing their flashcards together. And then once I've got my middle one on his language arts worksheet, that's when I have my youngest. He'll take, I feel like I need like a visual for this. My middle is working on, I've done the one-on-one teaching. Now he's working on his individual or independent work. I'll give my youngest some independent coloring, some different preschool workbooks, puzzles, those kinds of things. He'll sit down and do those. And then I sit down with my oldest, and that's when I start to teach him. So my youngest has had some time with someone, my middle one has had some time with someone, and now it's time for my oldest. So my oldest, I'll go through the language arts and the math the same as I did with my middle one.
Yeah.
We'll go over the lesson. We'll, cover any questions that he might have, and then he has his independent work that he needs to work on. Usually at that point, that's when my first grader needs help, so then I'll swap back over to my first grader, help him with the things he needs help with, and I kind of bounce back and forth between helping the two of them, while also at that point now working with my youngest on any new things that I'm trying to teach him, any new concepts that we're working on. So right now we're working on letter recognition. So he knows the ABCs, but I want him to be able to point to the letters and know which letters they are. So as we're starting this preschool year, that's kind of what him and I are focusing on together. So once my middle one is done with his independent work, that's usually when my youngest is kind of done. He's been doing school for a good hour and a half at this point, and he is ready to just move on and go play. My middle one is done with his work, my first grader, so then those two get to go play, or if they want to do flashcards or whatever they want to go do, they get to go do. And then my oldest and I will sit down together and we'll finish, you can come in, we'll finish his lessons together, and that usually takes an additional 30 minutes or so, but that's good time for him and I. Hi. That's good time for him and I to work on his individual work, so he gets that one-on-one quality time as well. And that usually takes us to about noon, so it's about a 2-hour span. And then from noon to 12:30 is kind of just free time. They all get to go and they all get to explore and play and do those things while I kind of get the homeschool area cleaned up. I start getting lunch prepped. I work on any more house chores that I have. And then at 12:30 we have lunchtime. And then from lunchtime we go straight into quiet time and nap time. And that is our homeschool day. When they wake up from quiet time and naps, that's usually when I have my time to get my to-do list stuff done. Once they're awake, it's kind of go time at that point. It's about 3 o'clock. It's 3:01 now as I'm recording this. They're starting to wake up or come out of their quiet time. And now we're gonna go into the evening activities where we're gonna start working on just going outside, having fun, getting ready for soccer practices or wrestling practice or baseball or whatever we have in that season, cooking dinner, those kinds of things. And if we have time, sometimes we'll play some games. It just depends on how mom's feeling, because obviously it's been a busy day, so I like them to kind of just go be kids and let mom just be mom for a little bit. But that's kind of our homeschool day. As far as scheduling the year at a glance, I schedule out about 9 weeks at a time. So I just have a planner. Boys, let me finish this, please. My planner. I just kind of plan out, I'll see if I could show you here. Let's go to August. That's where we are now. So in August, I need to check these off still, but I just take my planner and I just plan out the weeks like this. And I try to go 9 weeks at a time and then take a break. Unless we have some kind of vacation already planned within those 9 weeks, then obviously that would be our break. I am not super strict with this as well either, but we typically do have a vacation or something planned every 9 weeks. So for instance, for this beginning of the school year, we have August 7th as our first day of school, and October 6th is our first, that's week 9, and then we'll take a break, and that's gonna be Columbus Day week. That's gonna be a week that I'm really busy with my schoolwork for seminary. So I'm gonna have finals and things going on that week that I'm working on, so that'll be a week where I'm not homeschooling as much because I need more study time. We'll pick back up for week 10 through week 19, which will be October 16th to December 22nd. We don't plan to take a Thanksgiving break this year just because we don't have any plans to go anywhere. So we'll just go right through Thanksgiving into Christmas, and then we'll take an extended Christmas so we can enjoy the Christmas festivities, and then we will start the new school year, the new year with our third semester, which is going to be weeks 20 through 28. That's going to be January 8th to March 8th. And again, this is all flexible. This is just kind of an idea. This is just me thinking about the different trips that we have planned, the different events with my husband's work that we have going on, the different semester dates for my schooling that I'm doing, different church events that we might have, or things that we've already planned ahead. I kind of try to plan our semesters based off of that. But if we're just having a week where it's just not working out and we have just been going hard and we need to take some time off, we'll take some time off. That's the flexibility of it. But I like to have kind of a year at a glance so that I can see what it looks like. So as of right now, if we follow this routine, we started school August 7th, our last day of school will be May 10th, and that'll have a fall break with 1 week, a Christmas break with 2 weeks, a spring break with 1 week, and then we'll have our summer from the early weeks of May all the way through the end of July. So we'll get an extended summer break. So that's kind of the plan, but I just, again, look at my calendar and kind of see what I need to plan or what I can plan out of that, and go from there. So that is kind of our daily routine and our year at a glance. I hope that this has been helpful for you. As you can tell, my kiddos are ready for some attention, so I'm gonna hop off, go hang out with them for a little bit, get ready for soccer practice. But this is just a general idea. I think that one thing that's very important as you're learning what other homeschool moms are doing, or homeschool parents are doing in their homeschool, remember that your journey and your homeschool is going to look different. What you do versus what I do is going to look different. It should look different because our homes are different and our schedules are different and our lives are different. And so don't take what I am saying that works for me and say, well, that has to work for me because that's what Brooke does. And, you know, Brooke seems like it's going well for her. Like, yes, it does. It works for me. But if that doesn't work for you, if this schedule is stressful and it doesn't work for you, or maybe your kids don't cooperate the same way as mine, or maybe, you know, you want to start earlier, there's no right or wrong way to do it. That's the blessing of homeschool, is you get to choose what your schedule looks like, what your day looks like, what your curriculum looks like. It's the freedom of choice that we get to have as parents in our kids' education. So don't get so wrapped up in what everybody else is doing that you think you have to change what you're doing to fit what everyone else says works for them, because what works for you is what works for you, and that's also key. I hope this was helpful. That's all I have to share. So if this video was helpful, please make sure you give it a thumbs up. You come back to my channel next week to see the first day of homeschool for the 2023-2024 school year. And as always, if you ever have questions or comments or things that you want me to talk about, comment below on this video. Let me know what was the most helpful. Let me know what questions you have, and I'm happy to answer them. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you on my next video.